Do you realize that we treat exhaustion like an achievement? If you're not tired, people just assume that you're not serious. In fact, we even wear fatigue like a badge of honor, especially in this part of the world where survival itself feels like a full-time job. But here's the paradox. The world glorifies hustle and grind, while science insists that your next breakthrough will come when you stop. We've been taught to chase time, but it's not time that runs out, it's energy. Energy, not time, is the real currency of performance. Hello, my name is Olatunde Akinwunmi, creator of the V.I.T.A.L Architecture System, and you're welcome to the Brick by Brick broadcast, where we build better lives one insight at a time. Imagine your life like a bank account. Every focused task, every meeting, every emotional demand, that's a withdrawal. Every nap, every meal, every laughter or quiet moment, that's a deposit. But most people, especially high performers, spend more than they save. They're not time poor, they're energy bankrupts. There are 4 archetypes in this energy economy. The investor, who spends energy on what multiplies. The saver, who guards energy but underuses his potential. Then we have the spender, who burns fast and crashes hard. And then there's the debtor, who runs on overdrafts, uses caffeine, adrenaline, even guilt. If you're a portfolio, which would you be? Tony Schwartz's research at the Energy Project found that workers who take structured breaks every 90 minutes are 28% more focused and 40% more creative. That's biology talking. Your brain runs on ultradian rhythms, waves of focus and recovery roughly every 90 minutes. When you align with that rhythm, performance compounds. When you fight it, burnout collects interest. Every rhythm has a downbeat. Skipping rest is like refusing to exhale. You can't live on inhale alone. But in our hustle culture, that's exactly what we do. We glorify the all-nighter, the weekend grind, the I will not sleep until I'm successful creed. And yet, research from the World Health Organization shows that burnout has now reached epidemic levels. It has been classified as an occupational phenomenon from 2019. 76% of professionals report feeling burned out at least sometimes. Here's the problem. Fatigue disguises itself as productivity. You feel busy, but your brain is running on fumes. Even the prefrontal cortex, that part of the brain that handles problem solving and creativity, starts to shut down when overloaded. That's why you can stare at the same problem for hours, only to solve it later in the shower or when you go out on a walk. That's no coincidence. That's neuroscience. When your mind is idle, the default mode network activates. That's the part of your brain that connects scattered dots, that links memories and bets fresh insights. It's the reason why achievement is shouted Eureka in the baths, and why the chemist August Kekule dreamt about the benzene ring. They weren't working harder, they were resting better. Almost everything comes from almost nothing if you give the nothing enough space. In neuroscience, this is called the flow cycle. Struggle, release, flow, and then recovery. The struggle is effort. The release is detachment. Flow is deep immersion, and recovery is renewal. You can't shortcut the release. Without the rest phase, the system collapses. Flow isn't earned by force, it is invited by rhythm. And this is exactly where we enter the Design Your Rhythm framework, the system that helps you to shift from chaos to cadence, from overdrive to coherence. At its core, rhythm is architecture. It's how you structure your energy, not just your time. In stage 2 of this framework, Build Your Renewal Architecture, we teach something called the REST formula, strategic idleness. It's not laziness, it's the art of doing nothing after a season of doing something. Rest is the completion of the work, not the absence of it. Think of it like a 3-tier pyramid. At the base, you have physical recovery, your sleep, movement, hydration, and sunlight. That's your foundation. In the middle, there's mental recovery, white space, daydreaming, journaling, quiet reflection. At the top, we have emotional and spiritual recovery, gratitude, prayer, solitude, meditation. When one layer is missing, the whole pyramid tilts. That's why in the standards of rhythm, rest is sacred, not negotiable. You don't push it to the weekend, you design it daily. So here's a quick rhythm you can start this week. Pause daily for 10 minutes. No screens, no inputs, just breathe. Every week, block out one evening or afternoon for reflection or nothingness. Also, protect yourself seasonally by taking a day or week for renewal after every intense season. Because the truth is, if you don't schedule your rest, your body will, and it never picks a convenient time. But even when people understand this, guilt gets in the way, especially here where most of us were raised to equate rest with idleness. You hear things like, you can't rest when the bills are piling up. You would rest only in heaven. That mindset has built a generation of exhausted achievers, people who confuse motion with meaning. So let's unpack this. Rest guilt is real, and it's not just cultural, it's biological. Studies from Stanford show that guilt activates the same stress circuits as anxiety, flooding your body with cortisol. That means that even when you are lying down, your brain doesn't believe you are resting. You are still in fight or flight mode, just horizontally. Here's a visual for it. At level 1, rest is escape. You are hiding from responsibility. At level 2, rest is reward, something you can earn after suffering. At level 3, rest becomes strategy, a tool you plan into your rhythm. And then at level 4, rest becomes identity, is who you are, rhythmic, grounded, whole. Where would you place yourself today? That guilt is what they design your rhythm standards call the standard of alignment. No success should cost your soul. When you calibrate your rhythm to your values, guilt gives way to grace. You start resting without apology. You start realizing that balance is not laziness, it's leverage. This is what I call the rhythm economy. The moments where you stop treating energy as disposable and start treating it as investable. It runs on a simple equation. Stress plus rest equals growth. Like compound interest, even recovery phase multiplies future performance. It's the same cycle that elite athletes follow, for instance. They don't train hard every day. They alternate load and recovery. That's why they last. And that's why leaders who design rhythm outperform those who grind endlessly. They build growth loops instead of burnout loops. So here's your takeaway. Audit your energy deposits and withdrawal. Where are you overspending? And where are you underinvesting? And then design one deliberate recovery ritual this week. Something that looks like nothing but feels like everything. Track your returns. You'd find out that there's clearer focus, deeper creativity, better moods. In fact, even God rested on the 7th day, not because he was tired, but to model rhythm. This is what the Design Your Rhythm pillar inside the V.I.T.A.L Architecture System is all about. Teaching high performers how to stay fully alive while fully engaged. When you master this, your life begins to sound like music again. Stress and rest become beats, not battles. If you're ready to go deeper to design your own personal rhythm system that aligns with your biology, your psychology, and your purpose, that's exactly what I help you to do in the Game Plan Intensive. It's a 90-minute strategy session where we map out your unique flow pattern, your recovery architecture, and your personal rhythm index, amongst other things, so that you can begin to operate at peak energy without burnout, because music without rest is noise. If you're interested in doing that, the link to apply is in the description, because life without rhythm would always lead to burnout. Your next level of greatness isn't in doing more. It's in learning when to pause. If you have watched up to this point, subscribe, share, and join me in the next episode where we'll continue to talk about how to build a life that feels like you, one brick at a time. My name again is Olatunde Akinwunmi. Till we meet again, design your rhythm and don't default to chaos. Thank you very much.
This now, brick by brick broadcast. Live your full potential on purpose.